So, welcome students for our next lecture of diseases, that is path 354. Now we are starting with the diseases of pigeon pea. The first disease of the pigeon pea is Phytophthora blight. So as you all know that Phytophthora, Pythium, Rhizoctonia, Fusarium, these all are known to be the soil-borne pathogens, basically origins from heavy moist soil and causing the systemic infection to the plant and the vascular tissue. If you see carefully in this Phytophthora blight in case of pigeon pea, so the infection is systemic to the vascular tissues, but some prominent patches arises on the external surface of the stem, that is you can see here in the first image. And if you see the later on when it converts into heavy lesions, so it can be appears at rotted patches on the basal portion of the stem as well as each and every internode of the stem. So the Phytophthora blight shows its internal symptoms on the vascular tissues as well as external blackish blighted symptoms on the external and the internal tissues of that particular stem part. So what happens in case of this? Internal as well as external symptom leads to the underdevelopment of the plant, total destruction in the physiology of the plant, adversely effect on the development of the leaves, which undergoes sometimes chlorotic patches or a chlorosis of the leaves, and adversely effect on the flowering and the development of the pods. So overall development of the Phytophthora basically causes the infection to the stem. So that's why it is known as the Phytophthora blight, which is caused by Phytophthora drechsleri, family species Kajani. That is the causal organism, basically origin from the soil. And the majorly primary source of infection of this Phytophthora is from soil and the plant debris through oospores, because Phytophthora belongs to the Mastigomycetes, so that's why the oospores are released by the Phytophthora. And the secondary source of infection is by zoospores. The zoospores, which are responsible, which are for the secondary infection and carries by the irrigation water as well as the rain splash. So this is about the Phytophthora blight that causing the heavy destructive losses to the farmers to do in the case of the pigeon pea. Next, very important disease in case of pigeon pea, that is wilt. If you see in case of all varieties of the pigeon pea, wilt is a common and heavy destructive disease. All varieties means right from the Vidarbha region, the Marathwada, the Konkan region, wherever we are cultivating or growing the pigeon pea crop. So this is a very common disease which is caused by Fusarium udum. Basically, in case of the wilt disease, we have discussed in the earlier lecture that Fusarium develops three types of spores, that is Macroconidia, Microconidia, and the Chlamydospores. Chlamydospores are the resting spores, known to be the resting spores, which is perpetuated in the soil for a longer duration, for more than 5 years. If any farmer taking the pigeon pea crop on the same plot continuously for the 2 to 3 years, so it is seems to be a development of the wilted spores continuously year by year, means the dumping of the spores continuously, that is particularly chlamydospores. When if some of the part of the field is heavy moist, maybe it's a stagnation of water may be there, or maybe ill drained soil may be there. So these kind of soil factors are majorly responsible for this destructive soil-borne disease. So what happens? The pathogen causes infection through roots and develops inside the vascular tissue to cause a systemic infection. If you see at the basal image, if you see in the first base image, that you can see the internal infection that is known to be the brownish discoloration of vascular tissue. From external view, if you see A, B, C, and D images, which is given at the top side. So in the A image, that is the starting stage of the Fusarium, that the sickness to the plant. If you see that the nearby plants seems to be healthy, but one or two plant where the moisture is heavy or ill drained condition in the soil. So this kind of sickness arises to the plant, which is to be the different from the healthy plant. This is the B image, which is the second stage of the symptom, that complete destruction or drying of the leaves. Okay, and in the third stage, if you identify whether this is caused by irrigation, means drought condition, or maybe this is caused by the fungal pathogen, so you have to cut the stem into two halves. Unless and until if you cut the stem, you can't identify whether it is fungal wilt or this wilt is caused by any drought condition. So in the C image, third image, if you can see that the cut part of the stem can be seen, and a brownish discoloration along with the hollowness which is occurs at the vascular tissues. So this is the prominent symptom which is caused by fusarium. There are multiple wilting pathogens, bacterial is there, fusarium is there, and other wilting pathogens are there, but majorly fusarium wilting can be identified by this kind of pattern, that is known as brownish discoloration of vascular tissue. This is the sentence which is important in pathology, that is brownish discoloration of vascular tissue resembles as a fusarium wilt, that is known to be the fungal wilt in case of the plant. So this is related with the pigeon pea. External symptom you can see here, the destruction of the plant, complete drying of the plant. So it causes the wilting or means a death of the plant. So this is a very important disease in your syllabus and maybe mostly asked in the examination. So the causal organism I already told you, that is Fusarium odum. A primary source of infection is by soil-borne chlamydospores. That is maybe the resting spore, which can be causes the perpetuation and causing infection year by year, and also from sometimes maybe from the infected seeds. But majorly soil is responsible for the primary infection. Secondary infection by the conidia. So working conidias are there, macroconidia, microconidia. These are responsible for the secondary infection, which carries by irrigation water and tools and implements. Maybe some agricultural tools and implements, maybe harrow, hoe, whatever the working is there. So some kind of soil particles when transmit or disseminate from one field to another field, so they carries the conidia from one field to another field, that is known to be for the secondary infection. So this is about the wilt of pigeon pea. Next, third important disease of pigeon pea, that is known to be the sterility mosaic. This is a viral disease, this is caused by virus. So basically the sterility mosaic caused by the planting material or majorly the seeds. So seeds are responsible for the transmission or basically origin of this sterility mosaic. A different kind of mosaic pattern. So we have seen so many mosaics symptoms, normal mosaic symptoms on the leaves. This is a certain kind of mosaic and also a genetical abnormality in the plant to cause the sterility of in the plant. So that's why named as a sterility mosaic. Causal organism is pigeon pea sterility mosaic virus, that is PPSMV in short. So the basic symptoms you can see on the top image. So it's the first stage of symptom on the leaves, then second, then third, and the fourth. So in case of the leaves, so this is the leafy pattern. It's not, it looks like a normal in the first image. Then it changes to somewhat chlorotic patches on the leaves. So somewhat light yellow color pattern can be seen. The normal mosaic pattern can be seen on the leaves. Then it changes to heavily chlorotic patches. And then the last stage, we can call it as a distortion or mummification of the leaf. Complete chlorotic patches or complete chlorosis occurs on the leaf on this fourth image or a fourth kind of stage of the symptom. And a destruction means you can see the size of the leaf reduced. So destruction of the leaves and undergoes heavy drying, means complete disturbance in the physiology of the plant. So this kind of symptoms carries in the case of the leaf. Next, you can see at the bottom a B image, second image, that the reducing in the size or the canopy of the plant, that is the destruction or dwarfness of the plant sometimes. So this is another symptom which is caused if the virus infection is heavy in the earlier stages. And known to be a sterility, what sometimes what occurs, uh, the plant or the virus infected plants doesn't goes under the flowering, or maybe some genetical abnormality occurs to cause the complete sterility. There should not be any flowers or there should not be any pod formation. So that's why it is known to be the sterility mosaic. Or maybe sometimes it may be appear some kind of very countable, known to be the pods on the plants. So this kind of seeds to be seen in that particular pots. So you can see here infected as well as healthy. You can see here the healthy seeds as compared to healthy seeds. You can see here the infected seeds in case of virus infection. So the mummification of the seed, so the size of the seed is totally changed, and the distortion of the seeds can be seen here. So these all symptoms to be known to be the in heavily occurs in sterility mosaic virus of the pigeon pea. So basically transmission is a very different issue here. There is no any Jerseys aphids. One typical mite known as a eriophyid mite. The transmission basically cause or origins by the eriophyid mite. Eriophyid mite in the saliva or mouth parts carries the virus from one plant to another plant and causing the heavy infection in case of the sterility mosaic. So transmission is important for you in the examination, also in the section B, that is for the objectives. So this is about the diseases of pigeon pea. Basically, in case of this, wilt and sterility mosaic is important. Next, pulse crop, that is black gram and green gram. So we are moving towards the diseases of black and green gram. Firstly, start with the Cercospora leaf spot. So leaf spots, that we are aware about the leaf spot that we have seen in the leaf spot of groundnut, that is caused by Cercospora rachidicola as well as Cercospora personata. Same condition is here, Cercospora canescens, that is the causal organism. Cercospora canescens is a causal organism, basically heavy effective in the month of July, in the month of rainy season when humidity is more. Cercospora is, and also the alternaria causing the heavy destructive losses in the vegetables, and Cercospora in the case of pulses, oil seeds, and the other crops. So as you all know about the typical symptoms of the Cercospora, you can see here a circular brown spot surrounded by the yellow margin, that is known as yellow halo in case of our pathological language term or maybe scientific term. And also the typical terms are the symptoms given here. So different maybe symptoms. So circular brown spot and the centralized whitish patch can be seen. So both the pattern of spots can be seen on the black and green gram leaves. So these are to be heavy destructive losses in case of the heavy humidity. When humidity goes beyond 85 to 90%, so that may be in the case of cloudy, when there should be a cloudy weather, so certain kind of humidity can be seen. So these spots increases to form a big patch. You can see here the big patches, and big patches, due to formation of the big patches, the tissues here on the leaf tissues undergoes heavy drying, and due to the heavy cyclonic windy waves, this tissue, dried tissues, blown away by the air current, and this kind of short holes occurs to the leaves. So this ultimately adversely affect on the development of the leaves, total physiology of the plant, and adversely affect on the flowering and the pod formation. So this is about the Cercospora leaf spot. Primary source of infection is by plant debris and also from the seed, and secondary source of infection by airborne conidia. Okay. Now, next moving towards the anthracnose of black and green gram. So in case of anthracnose, we all know that the Colletotrichum is the most destructive pathogen in case of the anthracnose. Here, causal organism is Colletotrichum lindemuthianum. So basically causing the infection same as the heavy humidity is there. So you can see here a destructive losses, destructive effect as in the form of circular patches, circular big patches. We can't call it as a spot because spot maybe when it is very tiny or minute, then it is known to be the spots. But in case of anthracnose, so we have to call these patches. So circular reddish to brownish spots arises all over to the leaf lamina. You can see here in the right side image, also on the left side image, the leaves and the canopy of the plant undergoes heavy destructive losses or under development of the developing shoots, and the rotting or maybe dry rot occurs of that particular plant also. So this anthracnose pathogen also develops under the heavy cloudy weather, heavy humidity, to cause the destructive losses to the black gram, and green gram. Along with the development of the patches, you can see here the blightness also occurs to the leaf to cause the heavy chlorosis, then the heavy drying of the leaves adversely affect on the development of the plant and also flowering and the pod formation. So this is about the anthracnose. Primary source of infection is by infected plant debris and also from the seed, and secondary source of infection by conidia, which is carries by rain splash, that is by the rainwater, and also from the air. So this is about the anthracnose of black and green gram. Third disease of uh, black and green gram, that is known as web blight. Causal organism is Rhizoctonia solani. So we have seen earlier in the case of many crops, that is Rhizoctonia blight, Rhizoctonia solani is the common causal organism. So same here, the blightness appears in the form of heavy destructive surround or maybe oval patches which is surrounding all over to the leaf lamina. You can see here in the first image, small tiny particles, looks like a tiny particle or tiny spots, reddish spots scattered all over to the leaf lamina, which then converted into big patches, and then this big patches arises to cover whole leaf lamina. Then the stage it is known to be the blighted stage. Here in the first symptoms or a first stage, it is not known to be the blighted stage because you can see here only spots. When the favorable temperature and humidity supports the development of the pathogen, then these tiny particles or the spots arises into big size patches and then converted into the blighted patches on the margin of the leaf or maybe central portion. You can see here the central portion of the leaf or the margin of the leaf. So the bleak patches in the blighted pattern can be seen. So known to be the web blight, which is caused by Rhizoctonia solani, and causes the when blindness occurs to the leaf, so heavily destruction of the leaf, drying of the leaf, total drying of the leaf adversely affect on the physiology and development of the plant. So this is about the symptoms of the web blight. Primary source of infection by dormant mycelium from soil and plant debris, and secondary source of infection by conidia, which is carried by irrigation water. Okay. Now, last disease of the black and green gram, that is yellow mosaic. So we have seen so many mosaic patterns. So particularly the mosaic, crinkle mosaic, yellow vein mosaic. Now, a certain kind of mosaic, but named as a yellow mosaic. What happens in case of yellow mosaic? The causal organism of the yellow mosaic disease is Mung bean yellow mosaic virus (MYMV) particularly occurs in the black and the green gram. So what happens in case of the yellow mosaic? The normal mosaic appears to be the stages like green pattern, then light yellow pattern, then yellow pattern and dark yellow pattern. So these kind of patterns or the stages can be seen in normal mosaic. But in case of this yellow mosaic, the yellow stage means the green pattern, then light yellow pattern and the dark yellow pattern. The dark yellow pattern stage can be remain for a longer duration. When viral infection start, if it is or the first day is there, first day, second day, third day, and stages occurs in case of the viral infection or viral diseases. The first day, if you see that green leaf or a light green or a light yellow green, the yellow stage, that is yellow mosaic stage, maybe remains for a second day, third day, fourth day, or a sixth day, means the duration is more in case of this yellow stages, and then complete drying maybe appears. So that's why this disease is known as a yellow mosaic, because this kind of you can see in the first image, upper image, and also in the lower image, yellow pattern of this black and green gram remains for a longer duration, more than 3 to 4 days, and then this kind of complete chlorosis of the leaves can be seen. So that's why it is known to be the yellow mosaic. Normally it's carries by the vector that is known as a white fly, Bemisia tabaci, under favorable condition through the mouth parts, through the saliva. So but the yellow pattern can be seen just like a painting pattern, you can see here also, known to be the venal chlorosis can be seen, somewhat intervenal chlorosis can be seen, but resembles as a yellowish pattern for a longer duration. So that's why it is known to be the yellow mosaic, which causing the adversely effect on the development of the plant, maybe sometimes sterility of the leaves, sterility of the plant, which don't show any kind of flowering, and also the poor seed development in the pots can be seen. So this is about the yellow mosaic, which is mostly transmission can be done by white flies, that is Bemisia tabaci. So this is about the today's online lecture of the diseases of black and green gram. So in the next lecture we will see about our next important cash crop, which is the origin of the plant virology, that is known to be the diseases of tobacco. So basically when TMV, that is tobacco mosaic virus, was firstly isolated or maybe studied in case of this tobacco plant. So that's why that this is cash crop all over the world. So we will see the diseases of tobacco in the next lecture, as well as diseases of guava. Then so we will start with the fruit crops in the next lecture. So see you then. Good day.